Since the STIHL Women's U.S. Championships arrived on the big stage in 2018, the competition has been breathtaking. The champion that year was Erin Lavoie. Martha King would follow with back-to-back titles. Then last year, Lavoie would win the gold again.
Erin Lavoie!
Record-breaking performances, incredibly tight races, and thrilling finishes will be on the card again as we are ready to go in 2023.
You have the top 12 women here. We aim to do our best. Iron sharpens iron, or you wouldn't be better yourself.
Martha King drives off.
They're definitely some of the best ladies in the world. It's a privilege to be alongside them.
It's definitely not an easy field of competitors. There's a lot of talent out there, and it just keeps getting better and better.
Kate Witkowski is going to pass her in the end.
I've been blessed to be a part of this since 2017, and every year it's harder and harder.
Times are just melting away.
Really, it's anybody's game. It's a close game in the women's field. It's not clear anymore who's going to come out 1, 2, 3. I don't need to be the top. I just need to be consistent in all 4 events, and I know that I can do that.
Not got to worry about what they're doing. I can only focus on what I'm doing, the block that's under my feet or in front of me, and just give it my best.
At the end of the day, it's you versus you. Any of these ladies can get up there and chop a block. It's you and that block at this point.
And this is such an important competition. It's a big deal. You're against the best of the best. You kind of put your foot forward and step into the ring of all these great competitors.
What a way to start the championship.
Puts a little fire in everyone to put as much effort as possible into preparing for this event, because this is the event that we really peak at our season for. This is the most important event of our season.
Welcome everyone to the BMO Pavilion here at German Fest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You're about to be treated to some incredible eye-popping performances over the next couple of hours. Our STIHL Timbersports World Championships 2023 kicks off with our Women's Championship just minutes away right now. Let's bring out the man who's going to take us all the way through it. What an incredible legend in lumberjack sports. All those championships, all of those records set, and one of the greatest ambassadors the sport has ever had. Here he is. Let's hear it for Super Dave Jewett.
It's crazy. There's a pile of athletes back there, and I'm the one that's nervous. Super Dave Jewett here. Welcome to Milwaukee German Fest at STIHL Timbersports Women's Finals, the 41st year of the Milwaukee German Fest. This is the 6th Women's Championships, and we are so psyched to be back here in Milwaukee. My name is Super Dave Jewett. I actually competed in the men's division for 25 years. That's how I got the nickname. Pretty good sawyer, but they said you're a good enough announcer. Get up there on stage and call it, so I'm psyched to be here. And we're going to see in the men's division tomorrow and Sunday. But you know what? None of this will happen without sponsorship, especially STIHL. STIHL sold over 100 countries. STIHL Timbersports is in 27 countries right now, and all their equipment will be on stage today. Check it all out at your local STIHL dealer or Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware is on board right now. All the Ace Hardware tools will be up on stage, and they are selling STIHL power tools, electric and gas powered. Also, Duluth Trading Company. All the workers up here, all the athletes will be wearing Duluth Trading Company apparel. Such tough stuff. Check it out. And last sponsor will be John Deere. John Deere, nothing runs like a deer. And I tell you what, the winner of today's national title will walk away in a John Deere Gator. So we thank you, John Deere, and all the sponsors on board. Fortunately, I'm exhausted already. I'm going to need a little help. And I've got it right here, center stage out back. The man has been here since 1985, calling the show, Tommy Sanders, and ex-Timbersports champion, crosscut world record holder, Kevin Holtz. Gentlemen.
Oh, thank you so much, Super Dave. And Kevin Holtz, you heard our reigning champion say it just minutes ago up there on the screen. We've got the 12 best in America here today. That says a lot. I know you can also say a lot about, well, the recent changes in the sport, how they've changed the landscape, and also how this bunch threatens to rewrite the record book just about every time they tee it up.
Yeah, the level of competition has just stepped up every year, and one of the biggest step-ups was the addition of the standing block chop. We were only doing 3 disciplines, we now have 4. Standing block is nothing to shrink away from. Now that we're seeing more women's events around the country cutting the standing block, these times are melting. The incentive is there to train, the incentive is there to win and take home that prize money purse. It will be a standing vertical piece of timber, and our women competitors have just absolutely obliterated the times every single time they step to the stage. Speaking of times and stepping to the stage, we've got to talk about Erin Lavoie. She was our champion last year, took a couple of years off from being the champion, but was our champion 4 years ago. And this has kind of been a baton pass between Erin Lavoie and Martha King for the past 4 championships. So it's been a really just a slugfest between these 2 competitors. Erin is coming in after some really tremendous performances around the country, as is Martha King. So these 2 really are going to be our front runners in the field of 12 competitors. That said, there are 10 other competitors, prime athletes in this field. Several of them really are laser focused on the championship. We also just came out of the Hayward World Championships. Yeah. Thank you very much. And we've seen some performances from our female athletes at that discipline as well. That's given the nod to some faces and names that haven't been on that gold medal podium yet.
Oh, yeah. So this one's far from decided at this point right now, but we're going to have fun finding our winner at the end of the evening. All right, we're going to send it back to you, Super Dave.
It sounds like we're ready to bring out our athletes. So let's do it. Our first athlete comes from Stratford, Connecticut. Big round of applause, Kelly Kerrigan. And from Bridgeport, New York, Julie Miller. Driving all the way from Hefner, Oregon, Kate Page. Just down the road in Round Lake, Illinois, Lindsay Down. From the northwest woods of Hayward, Wisconsin, Kate Witkowski. All the way from Pulaski, New York, big round of applause for Emily Brown. Finishing second 2 years ago from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, Nancy Zaleski. From Alden, New York, give it up for Alex Miller. And bringing quite possibly the loudest fans in the crowd from Honeoye Falls, New York, Hannah Quigley. From Victor, New York, give it up for Samantha Graves. From Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, the 2-time champion, Martha King. And our final athlete, also a 2-time champion, looking for 3, from Spokane, Washington, Erin Lavoie. And our two head judges, Richard Hallett and Jonathan Russell. And at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. If you are able, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Take a look at the big screen for the laydown to today's competition format.
All athletes will compete in 4 disciplines. The maximum points awarded for each discipline result from the number of participating athletes. The first discipline is the stock saw. The fastest athlete will receive points equal to the total number of athletes competing, down to 1 point for the last place in each discipline. The second event is the standing block chop. Points remain the same, awarded based on times, and as with all events, any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. As the third discipline, every competitor will need to show their skill in the single bite. And in the underhand chop, it's the athlete's last chance to claim valuable points. The points from all disciplines are accumulated, and the athlete with the highest point total wins the competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
My game plan tomorrow is to go out, laser focus, hit my lines the best I can, and try to keep everybody out of here so I can just do what I need to do.
So with the stock saw, I can go either way. I've had some really great runs in the past year or so, and then I've had some really poor runs. I'm coming off of a pretty big win in the stock saw at a recent event back in June, which felt really great, but it's all a head game, so as long as I can make 2 clean cuts, then I'll be happy.
First heat of the stock saw, Kelly Kerrigan and Julie Miller. On stand 1. Julie Miller, stand 2. Kerrigan on your left, facing the stage. We had a preseason timber sports race hosted by Nathan Waterfield, our global sports director, and Kerrigan ran away with first place in the stock saw. Keep your eye on one, but always Julie Miller, always in the game. First heat of the stock saw.
Well, Kevin, it sounds so simple. 2 cuts, your saw's already running. You don't have to worry about starting it, but it's the little things because the times are so tight.
Warm up your saws.
Yeah, Tommy, in this discipline, we'll see many of these competitors within a tenth of a second of each other. Some of them even closer than that. We've had disciplines or stock saw disciplines in the past where we've had 8 competitors all within a tenth of a second of each other. So you're
athletes
pushing
ready.
that envelope as far as humanly possible, but the consequences are dire when you push too far.
Go!
Oh, and trouble over. Oh, I think I know exactly what happened for Julie Miller. I believe Julie Miller made contact with the chain break on the way down, but I'll wait to see what happens in a replay. I was kind of watching it the wide shot, and you hear these athletes talk about nerves in this stock saw event. Because we're gunning for those tenths and hundredths of a second, that's where those mistakes start to come into play.
Oh, Rich Hallett is going to look at Julie Miller's stand right there first. A tough break for her. Could not get the start going properly. Winds up with a time of 19.82. Kelly Kerrigan's time 13.25.
Nice job, ladies. Both cuts are good.
Kelly, great cut in the stock saw. You're the first event of the day. You're the first heat of the day. You're coming off a big win in the stock saw, but I know you kind of can get in your mind once in a while and you say you're really not sure which Kelly is going to show up. Pretty good time, though. How do you feel?
Felt like a good, clean cut. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm in the right headspace for now, so pretty happy with that start.
All right, we'll let you go. Thanks very much. Hey, big round of applause coming all the way from Connecticut, Kelly Kerrigan.
Okay, so I'm taking a look here at this run from Julie. I'm not sure what went wrong, if she came down and got the kill switch. It didn't look like she engaged the chain break when she came down, but she may never have disengaged the chain break. I'd like to see that again because I didn't see her make contact with that chain break.
Well, as you can see on that stand to your right, stand 2, Julie Miller. We're not sure of whether she hit the chain break, which is meant to engage the chain, a safety mechanism, or she may have hit the kill switch, which would just simply shut the saw off. But maybe we can get an interview with Julie later on, but I'm very unfortunate, but Kelly Kerrigan staying solid in the mid-13s.
Listed as a personal best for Kelly Kerrigan right there at 13.06. A good effort and tough start for Julie Miller. She'll have a lot to overcome as we go through the next 3 disciplines, but we got 5 more heats of the stock saw yet to come. Kelly Kerrigan, UConn, but didn't pick up lumberjack sports at college. She was asked to step in at as a Jack and Jill stand-in, and kind of got bitten by the bug and kind of self-directed there for her career, the start of her career, but she's been doing it for a good while right now. She was 10th in 2022.
My name is Kate Page. I'm 32. I live in Heppner, Oregon, and I'm a wildland firefighter. For stock saw, it's just keeping that rhythm. I mean, I use the saw every single day for work. I'm comfortable with the saw, but I tend to get a little rambunctious in stock saw, and I've DQ'd 2 of the years I've been here at the Steel Series in it. So for me, it's making sure I stay within that 4 inches, and I just make sure when I step up for stock saw, it's a deep breath, calm down, and do what I've been practicing.
Heat 2 of the stock saw, Kate Page and Lindsay Down. Kate Page on the left side of your stage, all the way from Heppner, Oregon. Lindsay Down, Round Lake, Illinois. Short drive for Lindsay Down, a long drive with no air conditioning for Kate Page. And again, that 13:06 laid down early, a fast time laid down early by Kerrigan, putting the pressure on. Again, both these athletes, they watched that first heat out back. They saw what happened to
Warm up your saws.
Kelly Kerrigan's is the time to beat at 13:06. Both of these veteran competitors of these national championships. Lindsay Down has been competing for an amazing 13 years, for 23
Athletes ready.
years. Started at age 13.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Kate Page very quick to the block, but then a little bit of a stutter step at the top of the wood. I don't think she had it quite lined up how she wanted it. There's a little bit of extra time outside. Lindsay Down very thick on that second disc. I see crayon though, so that's good news for Lindsay Down.
All right, nice job. Both cuts are good.
Hey, great cut. I know there's a lot. You want to rewind and talk about the last 2 years. You were very open about it in the interviews. You had disqualifications in the stock saw. Then you drove out here, long drive in the heat, no air conditioning, but you got a smile on your face right now. Tell us about that cut.
You know, obviously I always want to do my best, but when it comes to stock saw, as long as I get a time in, I'm good.
Now, you're a firefighter, you know chainsaws, but it's different when you're racing, isn't it?
It's completely different. When you're fighting fire, you're methodical about how you're cutting down the tree and how you're using the saw. And this, it's a lot of speed and training to make sure you get the spots you need to get.
Just over 13 seconds, it's the time to be. We're waiting on your time. We're going to let you get ready for the next chopping event. Congratulations. Hey, big round of applause all the way from Oregon, Kate Page. 12-7-3.
This could have been just a little bit faster for Kate Page. This is where I pull the lever on my armchair and play the role of America's armchair lumberjack here. But you can see at the top of that first cut, she comes up, makes contact with the log. She may not have thought she was squared up quite right, maybe worried the saw was going to run out the end. So she kind of had to double clutch the start there, and that's going to cost some time. She is going to best the time of Kelly Kerrigan, showing an official time of 12:73. We got faster times coming, though, Tom.
Oh, yeah, you have to think. Absolutely have to think.
There's still room for improvement there, and we'll see some faster times. We'll drop down into the 11s, I bet, would be a solid time based on this wood.
Kate Page Well, told us before we started this particular heat there that she has DQ'd the last 2 outings. So that has got to play in her mind. I think she fought off the demon successfully there in a good, respectable time. But as you say, will it hold up?
My name is Kate Wachowski. I'm 35 years old. I'm from Hayward, Wisconsin. I'm really happy to be back in Wisconsin for our national championships, especially in Milwaukee at Germanfest. I grew up just 45 minutes north of here. And so this year, this event is especially meaningful to me because I'm going to have a lot of friends and family here cheering me on. I don't normally get that. You know, normally I fly to New York and compete in the middle of nowhere where I don't know anybody. And so this year in Milwaukee, I'm really excited to show my friends and family everything I've worked for.
Heat 3 of the stock saw, Kate Witkowski and Emily Brown. Witkowski on the left, Hayward, Wisconsin. Brown on the right, Pulaski, New York. Kate Witkowski on your left. She's finished in the top 5 every year in the women's finals. Has not won the title. She's looking for it this year.
Kate Witkowski 4th last year, 2022. Women's U.S. Championships. Emily Brown, 4th place in 2021. So they each have a 4th place under their belt in this particular event.
Warm up your saws.
Well, Tommy, we broke from the 13s down into the 12s. I think we've got room to improve from here. You know, again, Kate Page, a great run for her. I know she was happy with that, and I know she can. I know she knows that she could go faster without the glitch at the top of that
Athletes ready.
And that's where we are with the stock saw event. Every nanosecond counts.
3, 2, 1, go!
Very nice up and in from both these competitors. Emily Brown on stand number 1, a very thin disc. But you know what? The old saying, thin to win. That's less side pressure on those plates on that chain. And Witkowski with a very thin second cut.
All right, nice job. Both cuts are good.
Kate Witkowski, low 13. She's going to be in there. We're going to get a quick talk here, though. Emily Brown, what's going on? See that time? Well, unofficially, we're in the low 12s right now. The times just keep getting faster. When when the athletes are going ahead of you, you kind of have an advantage. Can you listen to the saws and kind of see what they're doing, or do you just have your plan and you execute it?
I just have a plan and I stick with it.
And the stock saw, you're all fit. We get chopping, single buck coming up, but the stock saw, it's more of a finesse. It's really not strength driven, is it?
Right, it's a mental game for sure. So just got to keep with it and keep your head in the game and listen to the saw. So.
Great job. We're waiting on your official time to come up. We'll announce it in just a second. Hey, one more big round of applause all the way from Pulaski, New York, Emily Brown.
Well, here's another look at that run from Emily Brown. You can see that first disc exceptionally thin, but we talk about how that helps to release some of the stress in the wood. It takes the pressure off the rivets, off those side plates of that chain, lets it just spin a little faster. She compensates a little bit on this second cut and takes advantage of a whole bunch of timber there, but a nice clean cut from Emily Brown. Drops down sub 12 seconds.
So Emily Brown in a pretty good place here with half the field, having completed their heats in the stock saw right now. Again, 12.15 ahead of Kate Page. Kate Witkowski would be in third place after that cut there. She finished second to Emily, 12.94. Kerrigan, Dawn, and Miller round out our top 6 at this point right now. 3 more heats to go in the Stock Saw 2023 STIHL Timbersports Women's U.S. Championships.
My name is Alexandria Miller. I am 30 years old and I am from Alden, New York. I came here to do the best that I can. I'm coming off of just giving birth 6 months ago, so I have my son here and my husband to cheer me on. I do a lot of mental video type training at home with him. He watches a lot of axe chopping videos with me. It's kind of funny. And he really falls asleep to the sound of chopping, so I don't hate it.
Nancy Zaleski and Alexandria Miller. Nancy, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, up the road. Boy, does she know how to stock saw, as does Alex Miller. This may be the closest heat we will see in today's first event. But again, at 12:15.
Heat number 4. There's Alexandria Miller there. New baby in tow and having a good time this summer. And, Nancy Zaleski has been in 5 of the last 6 women's championships. Competes a lot here in her home state of Wisconsin. Also travels overseas.
Warm up your saws.
Multiple trips to Australia for competition.
Over the past several years, Nancy's really been a student of stock saw. She's got a lot of help from the Slingerland family, Lawrence O'Toole, and the like. And her stock saw times have
athletes ready.
Away.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, not today, though. You see Nancy there shaking her head. She fans the side of that log and is really in tough shape. This is a tough break for Nancy Zaleski. Alexandria Miller not waiting around, though. But even Miller, though, showing an unofficial time around 14 seconds. That is not in her normal bracket either. I'm not sure what malfunctioned on stand 2 either. And just to add insult to injury, we got a yellow flag on the stand.
Oh, dear. Well, it looks like despite the start, Nancy may have won the heat. But certainly neither of these competitors are going to be pleased with their times. I don't believe.
All right. Stand 1, DQ, cut the line. Stand 2, your cut was good.
Alex, you're one of the best stock sawyers in the business. You know it. You also know that probably wasn't your best cut. What's going through your mind today? But you know you're still in the game with 3 events to go.
Yeah, I don't know. The saw definitely was bogging down in that. I wasn't really giving it too much pressure, so I guess just kind of feeling out the saw, and just wasn't my best cut, but I'm still in it.
Your husband John's in the crowd, your newborn baby Asher is also in the crowd. Any words, any shout out to them? I know John's always the loudest. I'm hoping your son, when he grows up, will be just as loud.
Oh yeah, he screams already, but I love you guys so much.
Thanks, Alex.
Well, here's the run. We'll take a look at Nancy Zaleski on the near side here. She was the left side of the stage. You see she's already shaking her head. That is a butcher's block coming off. She fanned the end of the log. You can see the scunned up mark there at the top. Reshot, ended up with a very, very thick disc. And now as she's coming up, she's shaking her head again. She knows she's exceptionally close. She may even have gotten the line on the bottom of the log. You saw her kind of double clutch that restart. There needs to be a crayon mark intact all the way around. You can shave the side of it, remove a portion of it, but you cannot sever that crayon mark.
Alexandria official time of 13.91 has her in 6th place. And yes, Nancy Zaleski did get the DQ there, unfortunately, so that's a very tough start to her competition here in 23, the U.S. Women's Championships.
Well, I know Nancy's obviously very disappointed with that cut, but I tell you who's not disappointed right now? Julie Miller.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a 19.5 is just, it's shambles of a time, but it's not a DQ, it's points.
It's
so
two.
All of those DQs, or any DQs here forward, are going to stack in underneath Julie Miller and do her a whole lot of good.
My name's Hannah Quigley. I'm 25 and I'm from Honey Falls, New York.
I am Erin Lavoie. I'm 41 from Spokane, Washington. I own a CrossFit gym there. We're coming up on, I think it's 12 or 13 years old now, and I'm trying really hard to become a firefighter at home.
The stock saw discipline is mentally demanding. When I go out to compete, I'm thinking about where my line is, where my body is, and making sure that everything I do is smooth. I'm not trying to be fast, but I know if I'm precise, then that'll come with it.
I'm excited about stock saw this year. I've been really breaking it down and putting it back together. There's a lot more focus in different areas of the stock saw instead of please just make a good cut. So I'll be focusing on that one, and I'm looking forward to it.
Fifth heat of the stock saw, Hannah Quigley and Erin Lavoie. There's Hannah Quigley on the left, stand number 1. Lavoie on the right. Lavoie, the returning title holder from 2022. Hannah Quigley, only her 2nd year last year, took the bronze medal. So you're looking at two of the top 3 right on stage right now. Both
2 gold medals for Erin Lavoie. Looking for a 3rd here in 2023. And Hannah Quigley, most definitely one of our up-and-comers. Made the medal stand last year in 22. Having some great performances in other disciplines as well during the course of this year. We'll get to that, especially when we talk about the standing block. But definitely one to watch.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Very clean runs for both these athletes to the block. Oh, we've got a great race going on here, folks. Very clean runs to the block, very clean transitions. It is Quigley just edging out Lavoie. Put a little bookmark in that heat, because this could come into play when we start talking about trophies and championships and whatever. Hannah Quigley was at bronze medal, was in the bronze medal position last year. Erin Lavoie, our current champion. So two of the top in the field there just went head-to-head with Quigley besting Lavoie.
Quigley about 0.3 of a
Nice job,
second
ladies.
faster
Both
than
cuts
Lavoie.
are good.
Pre-game interviews yesterday, and you said the standing block chop is one event that you attack. I think you might want to revise that. You attacked that stock saw. Beautiful cut, unofficially around 12.4. We're waiting for the official time. Tell us about it.
Well, stock saw is an event that I was really excited about in college. It was my event going through. Last year was a big year. I ended up DQing it in the qualifier, and ever since that happened, I've been training that event really hard, asking the best at it, breaking it down into really small pieces that I never really fine-tuned, and I'm happy to say I did that on stage today.
Great cut, and speaking of standing block chop, it's coming up next, so we're going to let you get ready. Big round of applause all the way from Honeoye Falls, New York, Hannah Quigley.
There's another look at that run. You got Hannah Quigley on the near side and Erin Lavoie on the far side. What a clean first cut from both of these athletes. Very thin, very straight. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, just like a plumb bob down through that block. Quigley got, again, a little nervous on this second upcut because that is a big piece of timber falling off there. She used up almost all the available real estate, whereas Lavoie was still staying very thin over on stand number 2.
Hannah Quigley currently in second place, 1/10 of a second behind Emily DeYoung-Brown in the standings right now. Erin Lavoie's cut good enough, but just behind Quigley there. She's in third place. Kate Page rounding out the top 4. One more heat remaining in the stock saw.
For the stock saw, I have a routine, and the important thing when you get up on stage is to stick to your routine. So I know my processes, I know my position. It's just a matter of getting those things set and being focused, but my goal ultimately is to be at peace. I want to be competing with a solid mindset and be relaxed, because when you're relaxed, everything flows, and when you flow, it's smooth, and smooth is fast.
Final heat of the stock saw, Samantha Graves and Martha King.
Martha King won back-to-back championships, 2019 and 2021. We did not compete in 2020. Martha King very much working on the interior game. How relaxed can she become?
See there, she is our national record holder 11.01 seconds.
Warm up your saws.
I've got the feeling we'll end up in the 11s, probably the high 11s. But we're not seeing blazing fast times today.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
See the difference in stance between Samantha Graves on the near side and Martha King on the far side. Oh, Martha's getting very thin on the bottom of that log. I think she's got enough. She held it together. Well, Tommy, for the first time in my life, I may have been wrong. We may not see
I was gonna ask you.
11.
The over and under is 12 seconds. Which do you go? And I think we both would have said under.
Nice job. Both cuts are good.
Martha, this is your disc awfully, dangerously thin at the bottom of that cut. Tell us how you stay focused when you know it's getting that thin, because you want to be thin, correct?
You want to be thin to win, that's right. And when I got started in my cut, I thought this will probably be okay. And then I thought, oh man, that's actually kind of skinny. And too many thoughts rolling through my mind, but I focused on just steering it under a little bit.
Want to hold this disc up and turn it towards the camera so we can. That's professionalism, because we saw you knew it was thin, but you really kept your head in it.
I did my best to keep my head in it. I know it's a bit slower when you have to steer it, but I'm so grateful that it was a complete disc, and onward and upward to the next one.
Well, that's why you're the national record holder. Big round of applause. We're not sure who won that heat yet, but big round of applause all the way from Chaddsford, Pennsylvania, Martha King.
So here's that run on stand number 2, Martha King, and you'll see the nose of that bar just get ever so close to the outside edge of that disc. Now here's a for instance case for everyone. If that disc hit the stage and broke on contact, or maybe a piece of it broke off during the cut, but she continued to cut down through the block, that would not be a disqualification. The disqualification would come if she cut out through the end of that log, and in that case, not making a complete cut.
Martha King's time now official at 12.58 and has her in 3rd place after the completion of the stock saw discipline here. Discipline number 1. Hannah Quigley in 2nd place, taking top points, 12 points. Emily Brown of New York, 12.15. Erin Lavoie, our defending champion, rounds out the top 4 with a 12.65. Samantha Graves on that one, a 12.87, has her in 6th place. Well, stay with us. There is so much more to come. 1 discipline down and 3 to go on our way to finding a U.S. champion, STIHL Timbersports. We'll be back in Milwaukee in just a moment.
Your neighborhood Ace carries a full lineup of STIHL gas and battery outdoor power equipment and accessories. Shop STIHL at acehardware.com. Choose in-store pickup or free delivery to your door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own 2 hands.
It's just 3 words, but they tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. Why there are over 10,000 local steel dealers in communities all across this nation. And why we're putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. 3 words you can kick dirt on, drag through the mud, but you can't cover up. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
This is our next event, the standing block chop.
The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
First heat of the standing block chop, Lindsey Down and Kelly Kerrigan.
Kelly Kerrigan and Lindsey Down, respectively 8th and 9th points after one discipline here, so both of them have some work to do, Kevin.
Well, good news. We have an employment opportunity. It's called the standing block chop.
Yes, we do. That is the next available opportunity.
Yeah.
You are correct.
I don't know if that's a job they want to sign up for. Again, we haven't had the standing block chop for too long in timber sports. There isn't a ton of competitions in the U.S. That use the standing block chop in the women's division, but we're
athletes
glad
ready
to have it, and
Stand
the growth
to
has
your
been
timber.
tremendous.
3, 2, 1, go!
Both Kelly and Lindsey opening up 2 and 2. They'll put in 2 up hits, 2 down hits. That'll release a large chip of wood. You can see it already laying there on the stage in front of Kelly Kerrigan on the right side of your screen. This is a disassembly. Any of these chopping events, men's division, women's divisions, rookies, I don't care who it is, when you are chopping, you are disassembling this block. Pairs of hits lift chips. The wrong hits put in the wrong place will get you nowhere. Kelly's going to be very happy with this cut. I bet we're going to see big fist pumps here. She has got the near wood broken. There it is. She finds those final fibers on the far side. Lindsey stepped down on the near side. She's got that cliff of wood. There she goes back to pick it back up. She's going to do one more round of chips. Now she's got to start driving. She's got to get that axe hanging out on the near side. There's a little wing of wood there. Punched it in the gut, so got it come off on the top.
All right, both cuts are good.
Yeah, they kind of give me free reign to interview who I want. Typically the winner, but Lindsey, it's a new event. You're known as a single buck sawyer. That's a great cut, sub 1 minute. Kelly, one of your best cuts. Tell us, I mean, y'all used to kind of hate the standing block, then Steel put it in, and now you're just growing to love it, and it gets more competitive, and it's starting to grow around the world. Lindsey, first off, how'd that cut feel?
I still hate it. No, actually, it was one of my better ones. It's the best time I've had at Steel, so I'm quite happy. And I got to compete next to my best friend. And I just want to say, I want to thank my sponsor, Tedrick Lamar. He's pretty awesome, so thank you for supporting me.
All right, you move down here. Kelly, you're still laughing. You two always have the giggles. Kelly, tell us about your cut.
It went pretty well, I think, for me. I kept good pace, I think. I made a few errors, but made a clean cut overall. It's fine.
All right, get out of here. We got another event to do. Get out of here, you two. Hey, big round of applause again. The great sports they train together, the best friends, Kelly Kerrigan and Lindsey Down.
Well, as we watch the finish here on Kelly Kerrigan's block, yeah, there's always room to improve, but at this stage, you are going to improve leaps and bounds. It is exponential growth. That was a very clean cut. You can see on the backside of that log, especially on her down drivers, the whole face stepped down, but it was a clean face. Switching over to Lindsey Down, we talked about this. I don't know if the guys in the truck can pause the video right here. Oh, we're done now. It's over. But if we go back right to that hit there, this is where just a small shift can make a big difference. There's a wing of wood right there, and because her axe is here in the middle, in the guts of this block, that wing of wood right along here is what's keeping that block from falling apart. Just shifting that axe back to the chopper, in this case Lindsey, just a couple of inches would have cleared that little wing of wood. It would have let the top of that block twist open and give her access to cleaner chopping.
Lindsey Down's time of 57.98, sub 1 minute. Going to be 15 seconds and 71 hundredths shy of Kelly Kerrigan, who wins the heat with a 42.28. Kelly, again, standing in 8th place after the first discipline, the stock saw, so I'm sure she's hoping that 42.28 will stand her in good stead, maybe move her up in the standings to get a little closer, at least to the mid-range by the halfway point in our proceedings here today in Milwaukee.
Miller time, heat 2 of the standing block. Alex Miller and Julie Miller. They're going to be attacking that 42.28 laid down by Kelly Kerrigan.
Well, Julie Miller currently in 11th place in the standings, got 2 points in the stock saw right there. Alexandria Miller 10th place, so these two are sort of sitting in the bottom 2 spots as they start their second discipline here.
Athletes ready.
Block.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, more than anyone, Julie Miller has got to just shake this off. She's got some wild hits going in already. Got to pick those back up, clean them up, put them where they belong. She did not have the run she wanted in that stock saw. She's got to put it back together and get as many points as possible here in this standing block. She is one of our strongest choppers out here, but the hits have to go in the right spot. Alexandria Miller on the left there has gone to a 1-and-1 on the back side of this. 1 up, 1 down, drew a nice chip. That left great corners for that axe to strike. It just sucks that axe in the block. She's got to go near. There it is. 1 in the far, and there it is. Julie Miller is off. A 36.81 shown as her unofficial time. Or excuse me, Alexandria Miller is off. A 36.81 is her unofficial time.
All right, both cuts are good.
Alex, great cut, but you just taking the time down. You're taking about 8 seconds off the time, waiting on the official. But you were cutting the standing block, weren't you, long before? And I know you were really pushing for Steel to get the standing block in. It is now, and you're taking full advantage of this event.
Yeah, I used to play softball, so I used to swing a bat, so I had to teach myself how to swing a little slope, and kind of had the hip motion down already, so That's PR for me, so I'm really pumped.
Congratulations. Big round of applause for Alex Miller.
Let's go back one time and look at this cut from Alexandria Miller. She goes with a 1-and-1 pattern. You see one up, one down. It cleared a chip, leaves those juicy corners. It just sucks the axe into that block so nice and clean. She had a plan, she had a pattern, and she worked it. Up drivers on the front side, that'll come into play on the back side of the log. There you see 1-and-1. There's that big chip coming out. Here's where things got a little wonky. She stepped down on there, but I want to show you something here at the end of this. We're going to freeze it here in just a second. When this log comes off, she stays up nice and high. She goes one more near hit. That clears that wood off, and there it is. Freeze that real quick on the screen there. You can watch this last driver come in on the far. She puts the block back together, and this spot right here, you've got to have that backside up above the front face of the log. If you are dog-legged, as we say, if the backside of this log is down too low, you end up stumping yourself. There's no fresh air for the axe to travel into, and you end up hitting down into the bottom of the wood. Watch this last driving blow come through, just enough above that front face that she was able to drive down into clear air.
Alexandria Miller, good competitive time there, 36.60. She will take over first place after 2 heats in the standing block chop. Julie Miller with a 4.7.91, currently sitting in third place.
Well, Tommy, just real quick, I want to point out that column that says PB. Personal best. And look at them. Every single time is coming in as a personal best for these athletes. That is outstanding. We are seeing the training go in. We're seeing the motivation to compete. And we're going to see these times just melt away over the next few years.
That is definitely a trend.
Heat 3 of the women's standing block, Kate Page and Nancy Zaleski.
Kate Page, Nancy Zaleski. Kate Page took up the sport at University of Montana in Missoula, Montana. Makes her home in Oregon now, fighting fires for a living. Busy person in the summertime. She also makes time to come here to the World Championships and has done for the last 4 events. Nancy Zaleski, just down the road, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, the chemist by trade. They have both cut in the 30s.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
2-and-2 pattern for both of these cutters. Nancy Zaleski just putting an immense amount of power behind that axe, drawing chips out of the front face of that block. Page bringing some speed now, finding her comfort. 2 up drivers and around into the back. What a great vantage point here to watch Kate Page into the backside of this log. Nancy Zaleski has a huge chop going in the backside of this block, but Page is going to come in. New personal best showing at our unofficial time. Actually was able to talk to Kate Page this morning at breakfast at the hotel. A whole group of folks were all sitting together, and she was reliving the agony of hitting the stand in the standing block and all the issues that brought about. So her goal was just a clean cut, and right now she's got the fastest time.
Nice job. Both cuts are good.
You're just riding that wave, aren't you? You're still smiling. Come on over here. You know, we talked about, I mean, you cut it beautiful. I know you glanced down last year, you scooped on the down hit, and there's really no stopping that axe except the stand. Tell us what happened, how you made that adjustment, and there you go. It's another $600 axe. It hurts, but you've recovered.
So last year, I was still super uncomfortable with my down hits, and I leaned my head in towards the block. So I scooped, and the very bottom of my axe, just right here, nicked the stand. So luckily it wasn't an expensive fix. And so this year I worked on my down hits, and that was a really nice block, so I just went for it.
Well, you're right around 35 seconds. Unofficially, we're waiting. We're going to let you go get ready for the single block. Great job. You're having a great day. There you go again, all the way from Oregon. One more big round of applause. Kate Page having a great day today.
We're watching Kate Page as she approaches the backside of this log, and it was a really nice piece of wood, and she cut it fairly well too, and those times again are just going to keep melting. You can see her pick up on that the down hits there on the top of the log, but then it steps back down again. So she has a bit of a small face going to the backside of this log, but like we talked about in the last chop, the good news is it stays above that front face, and you can see the axe travels through that wood out into the fresh air on the other side. A great finish for Kate Page.
Kate Page, official time 35.42. That is good enough for first place, and in total points as well, cumulative points. At least right now, she's on top of that one as well with 20 points as it stands right now. However, there are three more heats left to go in the standing block chop, and we will see what transpires. Nancy Zaleski's time of 54.79.
The addition of the standing block has really caused a lot of the women in the sport to work really hard. They see what's possible. It's always really awesome to put in a lot of time to get good, to have those three events, the underhand, the stock saw, and the single buck, but that latest and greatest one that can shake things up and create a new champion. So definitely the addition of the standing block has shaken the field, and it's caused us to work a lot harder, and it makes it a lot more fun because pushing yourself can be a very, very rewarding experience.
Heat 4 of the women's standing block, Samantha Graves and Martha King.
Martha King coming off a third place there in the stock saw as she moves into this discipline number 2, the standing block chop. 7th place. There for, first place. This stock saw for Hannah Quigley. Second place for Hannah Quigley, my bad.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Samantha Graves very quick on that go into the log. What a great swing, what a clean cut from both of these athletes. Look at how flat and smooth that cut is from Martha King. One missed hit, one stepped hit, but an extremely clean front face there from Martha King. Samantha Graves, though, not waiting around as she wades into the backside of this block, attacking those corners, reaching to the far. There you can see she's attacking the near, looking for it to spin on her. One in the guts. It is going to be Samantha Graves taking down our two-time champion, Martha King. What a tremendous chop here in Milwaukee.
Okay, nice job. Both cuts are good.
We're going right into this. Just absolutely a lesson in discipline. You stayed in the front. You know that Martha's around before you. You stayed in the front, and it just paid off in the back. How do you stay focused when you know your competitor is around? How do you just know, look, I'm going to stay and do my job?
I know if you don't put in a good, clean
front face, the back's not going to matter because you can't get through the front wood if it's still sitting there. So
There's really no word that you don't really know the word off season, do you? You train year round. I hear you train with Hannah Quigley, you train with your husband, and you train throughout the winter in your barn. And you really have to do that now in this Timber Sports Women's Division, don't you?
yeah, we're out there 4 nights a week probably. We built a barn so that we could practice year round. So.
All right, single buck coming up. We'll let you catch your breath. Hey, that's our leader right there, Samantha Graves. Big round of applause. 30.02.
Here's a look at the work that Samantha Graves did in the front side of that log. As Dave Jewett mentioned, she had the discipline to cut her log out of your peripheral vision. You could tell, like, oh man, my competitor's around already. I should probably be getting around. Cut your log, play your game, work your plan. Things got a little wild here on the back side of this log. You can see some steps ups and down in there. Not as cleanly cut as the front side of the log, but did the job. Great slope on the front side of that log. Great axe presentation to the block, and also nice wide face. Great cut for Samantha Graves, and those times are just absolutely dissolving.
Samantha Graves, look at that time, 30.02, taking over the top spot. She adds that to a 6th place finish in the previous discipline, and she is making a stand, and she has, look at that, a WR by her name.
Yeah, so we got to point that out. This is, I knew that had to be a new record, but this is a new world record. Samantha Graves, congratulations.
We're hearing it right now. We have a new world record
for Samantha Graves.
30.02. Fifth heat of the women's standing block, Emily Brown and Hannah Quigley.
Well, they were 1 and 2 in the stock saw, and they get to face off in the next to final heat of the standing block chop. Hannah Quigley coming off a great performance just down the road in Hayward, Wisconsin. Lumberjack World Championships, where she was the standing block champion of that tournament.
Well, you see her personal best time around 39 seconds. Again, like you pointed out, coming off a great run in Hayward, she has been cutting exceptionally well. She's a very smart cutter. She has to tune out that last heat, though. She has to let that go.
Oh, yeah.
She has to cut
Stand
this log
to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Great slope from Hannah Quigley. She's really put a tremendous amount of force behind that axe. Now she's attacking those corners. She is running out of timber, though. You see that hit went high. She's getting a little spray with those hits. She's into the backside of this block, though she's got to really settle in and cut her log. Now she goes after those corners again after a 1-and-1 open in a 2-and-2 pattern. She's got a good amount of wood there to cut because she had a very small front face in. Brown has the opportunity to catch her in. We got wiggle, we got movement. It is Emily Brown.
What a race.
Nice job. Both cuts are good.
Well, you know, you all know your abilities. All the women, you all compete against each other. But that's a tough one, going up against Hannah, and you really stayed in. You turned second. Again, you just fought in the back. You just brought some power, and you got it off. You got the job done in around 33 seconds. You're going to be in the top 4 right now.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I ended up leaving what I thought was the softer wood in the back, so it helped out.
And that's a good point. You're able to come out before the show, find your hard, your soft wood, the compression wood, and you're able to. Where do you put the hard wood in a standing block?
Really depends on the day. I like looking at it, so I keep it in my near.
All right, good job. Single buck coming up. Congratulations. We're just waiting on Emily Brown's time right now, but a great job. Right around 33 seconds in the standing block.
There you see Emily Brown on the near side, again, sticking with it, getting that job done. Hannah Quigley on the far side had a really small front face, and things got a little out of hand with the downward blows on that front face. You can see there Emily Brown laid in 2 hits right on top of each other almost. I was going back just to fix that, correct it, clean it up a little bit. No, hits aren't going perfectly exactly where Emily wants them, but she knows what she's got to fix. A great looking back side to this block, and she goes near far on those down drivers into the fresh air. Big smile, hand in the air, great cut.
Super race, very tight competition there. And Emily Brown takes the heat. Winds up in 3rd place overall with official time of 34 seconds. Hannah Quigley right behind, 34.84. Now, conditionally, Emily Brown, based on her great performance in the stock saw, in total points in the lead. I say conditionally because there is one more heat remaining in the standing block.
I think it's the funnest event to race in. It's fast, it's dynamic, it's the funnest event to look at, and it's especially fun to see the huge growth that the women have had over the past couple of years. We haven't been competing in the standing block for very long, but I think when you see the women this year, it will be pretty impressive to see how far we've come in a really short time. And I think that event is anyone's for the taking, and so I think we're all going to be really scrambling for that one.
Final heat of the women's standing block, Kate Witkowski and Erin Lavoie.
Kate Witkowski and Erin Lavoie. Erin Lavoie, your defending champion. Both of them have cut in the 30s. Erin Lavoie with a personal best, 31 seconds and change. Definitely one to watch here. Samantha Graves, though, on top with a 30.02, a new world record. Emily Brown on top in points. Emily Brown having just laid down
athletes
good
ready.
Competitive time.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, that new record around 30 seconds fresh in everyone's mind. Again, they just got to cut their own logs. And Lavoie is doing just that so far in the front side of this log. I don't have a good look into the front side of Kate Witkowski's block, but Lavoie's got a really clean chop going, a little bit of boxy grain. Now I see down there, Kate Witkowski had a little bit of a step on that one. Great open on the back, though, for Witkowski. 1-1, chases those corners. The pace is not there, but the hits are going where they need to. This is going to be a very close race. Lavoie's got a crack. There it is, Lavoie off. I'll tell you what, Tommy, these are unofficial times, but I don't think they're unofficially 4 seconds off.
No.
I think we've got a steady holding world record and two times in the 30 seconds rate. I don't think we're going to dislodge those.
No.
Both cuts are good.
All right, we're going to get a quick word from Spokane, Washington. Come on over here. Erin Lavoie. Erin, talk about that chop. Talk about the first year of the standing block came out in Timber Sports. You struggled with it, turned around the next year, broke the record. Now you're back in around the top 4. How was that chop, though, today?
Last year I had a really sharp axe, and it wasn't a pretty block, a pretty chop on my part. I watched the playbacks, and it's almost embarrassing, but it was a record. This year I had to choose between, I think, an axe I was more comfortable to swing, and I choose that over a better cutting axe. So I never know what's a good move there, like an axe that's chopping well, but I can't swing it well, or an axe that's chopping not so well, but I swing it better. So it was a good, clean cut, but it wasn't not as fast as I would have liked it.
Thanks a lot. You're going to shake up the points, so we're going to wait momentarily, see who is taking the lead. Thanks, Aaron. Let's get you ready for the single buck. Aaron Lavoie, Spokane, Washington.
Well, here's a look at the front side of Aaron Lavoie's block, and it started out strong, got a little bit steppy down. You can see those horizontal cliff faces there as the hits started to move their way down the log. Ideally, you want each hit chasing the last one in along the same plane. It's a lot more efficient. There's already cut timber there that you're just not taking advantage of. But that's where the pace and the accuracy will come with these standing block chops. Again, the times have just absolutely been melting away. The work that has been put in by these athletes is tremendous, and we're just going to see these times continue to dissolve.
Defending champ Aaron Lavoie, a 33.42 puts her in third place. Look at that. Lots of times in the 30s there. A big, big day for the standing block chop, as you say, Kevin. Those times just keep melting away year after year.
Oh, melting away just at just epic paces. Like, I'm looking at these times in front of us, and everybody but Aaron Lavoie had a brand new personal best, not to mention a world record. Just tremendous growth.
How about Samantha Graves right there? When we come back, we will update you on overall points after 2 disciplines. A few changes, maybe a few surprises as well. We'll be right back in Milwaukee.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own 2 hands.
Your neighborhood Ace carries a full lineup of steel, gas, and battery outdoor power equipment and accessories. Shop STIHL at acehardware.com. Choose in-store pickup or free delivery to your door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Beautiful summer's day here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at our overall points after 2 disciplines here, and we have a tie for the top spot. Martha King with a 10th in the stock saw, 11th in the standing block with 21 points. Emily Brown, first place in the stock saw, manages 9th place in the standing block, and she has 21 points as well. Samantha Graves, new world record in the standing block, has her just 2 points behind in 19th, tied with Aaron Lavoie, also with 19 points based on 9th. The stock saw 10th in the standing block. Good, tight competition. We are far from deciding the winner of this one so far.
Thanks, Tommy. Let's take a look at the big screen for our next event, the single buck.
The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into two types, cutters and rakers, just like on the old school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around €1,500. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
First heat of the single buck, Samantha Graves and Julie Miller.
Samantha Graves up against Julie Miller in this one. Samantha Graves probably still riding high after setting that world record moments ago in the standing block. She's going to have to take on Julie Miller, though, in a totally different sort of setup here. This is the single buck. And these are seeds number 11 and 12.
Tommy, interesting enough, these two athletes are relative neighbors to each other.
Oh.
They live, I would say, probably a 30-minute, 20-minute, maybe 30-minute plus drive away from each other.
Samantha Graves sitting in a tight second in total points right now after two disciplines. Julie Miller down there in 10th place, but she can put in a good cut right there and improve her position, her lot.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
In the women's division, this still is with a helper. They are allowed to use a wedge to pull to open that saw curve up a little bit. Brandon Graves helping his wife Samantha Graves. Mike Miller helping his wife Julie Miller. There it is, Samantha Graves off around that 21-second mark. There was trouble inside the block there for Julie Miller. I can see where there was a bit of debris or something hung on the side of the tooth. You can see at the end of the log where it's scraped back and forth. They may have just pushed a raker or a tooth to the side, or there was a noodle against the outside of one of the teeth.
Both cuts are good.
So we'll get a quick word with Samantha Graves here. Sam, nobody really trains with their best saw. You don't want to. You want to keep it sharp. You don't want to hit a knot. But is it a little different sometimes when you come out, you have to run your best saw in the competition? And is that what happened? It sort of bit a little more than you thought?
Yeah, this is actually a new saw, so this is the first competition I've used it in. So just, I guess, still getting used to it.
And you got the saw. It's a KBT saw out of Tasmania. It's cutting for you, but yeah, it takes a little season to get used to it.
Yeah, it's just a little different shape than my practice saw, but it was still cutting great.
All right, congratulations. Get you ready for the final event, the Underhand. There you go. There's our standing block world record holder, Samantha Graves.
We'll go back and take another look at this run here. There's Samantha on the near side and Julie Miller on the far side. Both of them had hang-ups. There's Graves first and then Miller in the background. There she is on cue. So what's happening in both of those situations, most likely, if they both happened on the push stroke of the saw, there's another hang-up for Graves. Most likely what happened is the athlete lifted the handle just a little bit too aggressively at the back of the stroke and pushed in. So if we can get a freeze anywhere in here, we can talk about this quick. Perfect, thanks boys. So inside this log, there is a flat surface where that saw is running. If the athlete picks up on the handle too much and gets the nose of the saw down, now only a few teeth are down here at the end of that cut, and that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on a very little bit of metal, and you're going to stuff the saw up every time.
Well, despite the 2 speed bumps, our newly minted world record holder in the standing block, Samantha Graves, has the best time in that, wins the heat 21-11. Julie Miller a 26.61. 5 more heats left to go in the single buck.
Single buck's my favorite event, hands down. And I've had a little bit of ups and downs with it lately. I was cruising along pretty good, but last week at LWC, everything kind of fell apart for me. So I put a lot of my pressure on myself in that event, and because I really enjoy it and want to do well. So that'll be the toughest for me probably going into. So we'll see how it goes.
Heat 2, Kelly Kerrigan and Kate Page.
Gary Kelligan currently 10th place coming into the single buck in overall points. Kate Page 7th place after 2 disciplines. Kate Page was 7th in the standing block, 8th in the stock saw. Going to keep things going. Very relieved after that standing block. Kind of vanquished a few demons with that one.
Oh, absolutely. That was just a terrible moment as far as scary moments, scary for the equipment, scary for the athlete when that axe came out of the block last year in the standing block. So a great run for her. Has to boost confidence going into the single buck event. And then, of course, just prior to the start of this heat, you heard Kelly talk about the tough
athletes ready.
Lumberjack World Championships at Hayward
Stand
last weekend.
to your timber.
So she's got to get
3,
those demons out of her system as well.
Go.
So Kelly on a pull stroke off the top of the go versus Page with a push stroke. You can see Page has got a lot of metal not being used in that saw. Kelly Kerrigan, though, runs the nose of that saw all the way in. Drops the nose off. There's that hang-up we were talking about in the last heat. She is going to be unhappy with that cut. There it is, Kate Page off through the bottom as well.
Both cuts are good.
Kate, talk about this single buck. Talk about how important it is to keep the saws level and how difficult it is on a big stage like this to absolutely stay focused with those $3,000 saws.
So those saws are not very forgiving. The slightest pickup on your hand or the lean of the shoulder, that saw will just drop into that wood and hang up. And well, typically I don't have the arm strength, the muscle through it, so they're not very forgiving. So you got to practice a really fine finesse.
And they're not very easy to come by. How long is the waiting period to acquire one of these racing tools?
Well, last I checked for a new saw, you're waiting for 2 to 3 years.
Well, you're going to be cutting an underhand a lot sooner than that. We'll let you get ready. Great job. You're having a great day today. Keep it going in the underhand.
Well, here we are taking a look at Kelly's cut. And you hear, we talked about in the last one about how you get too much metal on too little wood. Remember, they're cutting circles. So this is not the same material from the top all the way to the bottom. They're going to be in smaller material at the top, wide, full diameter at the bottom, or excuse me, in the middle, and then when you get down to the bottom, you're back down into small material again. Right now, where Kelly's really struggling, that saw is only sitting on just a few inches of wood with about 15 pounds of force on maybe half a dozen teeth. That just puts tent spikes down into the bottom of that cut.
Well, Kelly Kerrigan, ordinarily a pretty keen single sawyer, had big expectations for that run, and within an inch of the end, she had the winning time, but boy, the mistake at the bottom really cost her. 22.7 still in all, and that's good enough for second place. 22.74 for Carrie Kelligan. Kate Page, 26.
Kelly Kerrigan, Tommy, Emily Brown, and Kate Witkowski, Heat 3 in the women's single buck.
Emily Brown tied for the lead in our points coming into this discipline right now. Ready to go with the single buck. Going up against Kate Witkowski. Kate Witkowski currently in 9th place. She's hopeful for a good run here. Personal best under 20 seconds, so she will need to bring her best here to improve her standings in overall points.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Brown on the near side, Witkowski on the far side. A smooth cut is a fast cut. We've seen hang-ups. So far, both of these athletes are very clean through this log. Here comes the wedge to release some pressure on the side of that plate. We're getting into the small wood at the bottom. Emily Brown's saw is just motoring, but Witkowski has the pace. Kate Witkowski, look at these times, sub 20 seconds.
Nice job. Both cuts are good.
We go get Kate Witkowski coming up here. We might change that name to Fitkowski. You are in the best shape in 4 years, you've told me. You're feeling great, a beautiful single buck. Tell us what you've done to change your lifestyle and actually get in the fitness that you are today.
Yeah, I'm overcoming a few injuries, and that has held me back quite a bit physically. And this year, I took some time in the off season to really focus on my fitness and hopefully gain a little more power and a little more stamina. But yeah, that was not my best cut.
Well, you just had that snake off the top with the log, the saw just snake. You kept it going and got it back in the cut, but then your facial expression was just absolutely attacking and a great comeback. Not soft wood today. The times are slow, so in the 18 is really not that bad.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully it'll hold up.
Thanks a lot. A big round of applause from Hayward, Wisconsin, Witkowski.
Well, the Milwaukee, Wisconsin crowd loving to see one of their locals do so well. There you see, I missed it in the original run, but yeah, Dave, as you pointed out, in the small wood at the top, on that push stroke, they got a little bit of a hang up there on the top. But through the rest of that block, she found another gear. The pace was there, the form was there. Great cut from Kate Witkowski.
Going to be Kate Witkowski on top after 3 heats. The single buck. Kate Witkowski in a time of 18.55. Emily Brown right behind with a 19.48. Samantha Graves and Kelly Kerrigan, all 4 of those top performers so far in the single buck listed as personal bests. Their efforts here today. discipline number 3. 3 heats left to go.
Single buck has definitely been, I would say, my weaker event. And this year, I think I've learned to put a little bit more pace to the saw. And so I'm feeling better than I did last year with single buck. And I don't know if it's just mom strength or what, but I do feel a little bit stronger in that event. So I'll take it for now and, see how it goes tomorrow.
Compared to the other women, I'm pretty small, so my technique does have to line up with the speed. And I think that bringing somebody out there, especially with the format of the assistant that I'm really confident in having out there with me for the only event there is another person, is a really important part of it.
4th heat of the women's single buck. Give it up for Alex Miller and Hannah Quigley.
Hannah Quigley certainly in the conversation for the top spot. He has done well. He's not quite there yet, but boy, a good effort here in the single buck would push her right up there as we head into the final discipline. Alexandria Miller, a little farther back, would greatly benefit from another personal best. We've had 4 of them so far in our competition. Single buck.
But I think there was a lot of focus, a lot of attention on Quigley in the standing block chop, especially after her performance last weekend at the Lumberjack World Championships in Hayward. She didn't perform, I know, to her expectations or what a lot of people thought. But again, another discipline, another opportunity. You got to shake off that standing block and turn your attention to this discipline.
And herself a great run in the stock saw as well, so Quigley.
Athletes ready.
Definitely in it.
Stand to your timber.
Miller and Quigley
3,
both very
2,
similar in their
1,
sawing styles.
go.
Very flat starts. Oh, but look at, Quigley on stand number 2, though. Look at the amount of metal that she is using. That entire saw is disappearing at both ends of the cut. You can see body, shoulders, everything being thrown at it. Hannah Quigley, if she can find the lead, and she does,
oh my goodness,
is going to take over the lead.
Both cuts are good.
Oh, you got Hannah Quigley on the big screen there. There's the replay. We're going to get a quick talk with her. She says she only attacks the standing block. You attacked the stock saw. You attacked that single buck. Talk about it, and you're just reaching times that you hadn't reached in previous years.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I get to work with Dave on my single buck. He's one of the best, if not the best in the sport with the single, and he's really helped me fine-tune that this year, in addition to Nancy Zalewski, and the two of them have been just huge in crafting that for me. I wasn't a natural sawyer, and I can say I'm really happy with that event, and got my family here today, which is pretty awesome, too.
Great cut, Hannah. Unofficially going to take the lead, sub 18 seconds. We're waiting patiently. And Hannah's got one more event. She's having a hell of a day today. And there it is, 17-7-5. Hannah Quigley taking the lead in the women's single.
Let's talk small muscles and big muscles, and this is a very Dave Jewett-looking stroke, a very Dave Jewett-looking cut. Look at the elbows on Hannah Quigley lock out at the end of each of those push strokes. By locking those elbows out, by locking those arms out, that lets her engage the big muscles, the core, the back, the legs, and just use those arms as just a toe chain to absolutely drag that saw back towards her.
Well, Hannah Quigley perhaps falling a bit short of high expectations in the standing block. Gets a little bit back on that one, a lot back. What a time, 17.75. Yet another personal best right there. And Hannah Quigley moving up in a big way. Kate Witkowski in second Emily Brown, Alex Miller rounding out
Single
our
buck,
top
I'm gonna
four.
pull that saw back and forth and let it do its job. I got a fresh file from JP Mercier, so I'm going to entrust that he did a really good job for me. I know he did, and I'm going to try and do a really good job for him.
Heat 5 of the women's single buck, Erin Lavoie and Lindsey Down.
Erin Lavoie, defending champion, going up against Lindsey Down. Erin Lavoie having another good outing here today, was tied for second coming into this third discipline. Right now on top in the standing block is Hannah Quigley with that great time of a 17.75. Lindsey Down has not been at her best today. A bit down there in the standings. I know she has the genes to put down a good single buck cut, that's for sure.
Yeah, both these competitors are great single sawyers. This is by far Lindsey's best discipline, hands down. And Erin, it's one of her top disciplines, but again, as our current reigning champion, she's got a lot of great disciplines.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
We were talking about the Dave Jewett style cutting of Hannah Quigley. Lindsey Down also spends a lot of time working with Dave and talking form. But right now I'm watching Erin Lavoie on stand number 1, who's just, the pace doesn't look like it's there, but that saw is dropping. I don't know if Lindsey can catch her. It is, it's gonna be Lindsey Down on 2 by about 2 strokes. We have a yellow flag on the stage at stand number 1. That's Erin Lavoie's stand. Again, this is under review. This is not an immediate disqualification. There's just something that got somebody's attention. See, the officials are heading over to the side. They may be watching in the single buck event. About all you could really have for a questionable call would be a jumped gun. Our entire judging staff either left for coffee,
left en masse there,
or they're over reviewing video. For folks that might be new to timber sports, the way the starting system works is there is a flash, a strobe at the front of the stage. So at a very high frame rate, we are recording all of this. The audio recording, the pre-recorded audio start, is in sync with that strobe at the front of the stage, so we can go back and line everything up, see if there's movement in the saw.
Was a great cut for Lindsey Down. Consider that as we wait on the verdict on Erin Lavoie and her start, apparently.
Yeah, Erin did not seem to have the pace going through that cut, but the form was there, the saw was dropping. I thought maybe for a moment she was gonna stay ahead of Lindsey Down.
Lavoie, again, the champion, U.S. champion in 2018 and 2022.
And Tommy, I don't know if it's a good sign, bad sign, whatever, but I haven't seen Rich and Jonathan and our judging staff spend that much time looking at a potential foul, a potential jump gun. I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing.
Okay, unfortunately, stand 1, DQ. The helper touched the saw. Stand 2, good cut.
Well, I didn't see that coming. I thought we were looking at a jumped gun. I want to go back and take a look at that. So here is Jason Lentz helping Aaron Lavoie. We're going to watch the saw come down through the block.
So we're looking at the review right now. There goes the wedge. So far, it's legal. I know you cannot pry the wedge. There's the prying motion right there. So I don't believe it's that the wedger cannot touch the saw, which they cannot, but I don't believe there can be like a prying or a wrenching motion of the wedge. And I'm going to get a call with Richard Hallen in case I have that wrong. Maybe Lindsay, maybe you saw it. Lindsay, you won that heat. I know it's not your best cut in the world. You're still right there. I believe you're sitting unofficially in second right now. What's going through your mind?
I'm just replaying the cut in my head and thinking of the things I should have done differently. It just really sucks. Aaron's such a great competitor, and to have something like that happen kind of kills it for me a little bit. But yeah, no, I had a really good cut going, and then right at the bottom, it just got a little bit tight. It got a little bit firm, and that's where I kind of lost it. I think if I would have kept it going smooth, I would have been okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm happy. It just sucks. Aaron's a good friend, and
well, that's a great point. You're all good friends. You all train together. It was hard to see what happened with Kelly. Kelly is just an absolute machine on the single box. She's beaten you head to head, and that takes some doing. She had a hang up, and she looks incredibly upset. I know you guys are best friends. How do you talk about this afterwards? How do you move forward?
well, I think you just kind of give each other that space to feel it, to kind of go over it in your head, and then when you're ready, you kind of can sit down and maybe after a drink or two, just kind of be like, hey, what did you feel? What can we do differently? And you watch a video. So now between now and the next competition, I'm sure there's going to be video watching, critiquing, train. So I don't know. You just have to move on. So, but yeah, that sucks too. But thank you guys all for being here. The crowd is awesome. It keeps us going. So thank you guys.
All right, you move on. You move on to the underhand chop. One event to go. Always willing to give a great interview, Lindsay Down.
All right, well, let's go back and talk business here. You can see the wedge going in at the top of the block, and we believe the point of contention, maybe we can get the official word from Rich Hallett, is that there may be an issue with the way the wedge was presented. You're not allowed to pry the disc away, so the wedge looks like it didn't want to go down into that kerf, so you can see like the prying and pushing action, and that's the only thing we can come up with. Dave, I don't know if you've got anything different on your end.
Lindsay has a good point. She thinks that the wedger actually helped her put the saw into the starter cut. So we weren't really watching. The head judges are doing their job. They saw, so there really cannot be assistance in putting the saw into the starter cut really at all. So that's the thought.
Well, whichever it is, what a disappointment for our defending champion, Aaron Lavoie, kind of sinking her chances for a repeat here in 2023.
Final heat of the women's single buck, Martha King and Nancy Zaleski.
All right, Martha King. Great position, tied for the lead coming into this after two disciplines. And now with one of her greatest rivals seemingly out of the picture for now, Aaron Lavoie. Well, that makes her position look a whole lot better. She is not ready to walk away with it yet. No one's ready to hand over the trophy, the gold medal to her yet. But boy, she is looking better than she was 5 minutes ago. up against Nancy Zaleski. Nancy Zaleski had a few disappointing performances today.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Great form off the start for Martha King on stand number 1. Nancy Zaleski also applying everything she has to that saw, running the entire saw. You see the nose disappearing into the cut. King not waiting around though. Into the small wood at the bottom. If she can finish clean as she does. Martha King showing an unofficial time around that 18-second mark.
Nice job. Both cuts are good.
Well, Martha, we've got a quick word. Actually, we've got you right down here on the monitor if you wanted to take a look. You just flew. You hit the center so fast. You were halfway, right around the 7.5 second mark, and you just died a little bit in the bottom. Could be some hardwood down there. You didn't stall the saw. Still a great cut. Still, you may be virtual leader right now.
It was a tough cut. Watching all the times before, it looked like it wasn't going to be any world record-setting wood. And I was a little anxious about my saw because it's not quite as free in the nastier stuff. And I just really had to work hard.
Right, because this white pine can vary. You're in the logging business. You're in the tree business. You know logs. You know white pine. You know going up there, this is a soft log, this is a hard log. You just take the hand you've been dealt.
Well, I was looking at the rings and thought, okay, so there's a little bit of red in there, but yeah, what can you do? You just got to run your race, and there's a lot of pressure because the talent here is exceptional. So it's great to compete alongside these women, and I'm so grateful for my coach and my mentor, Mike Esch. He's always there for me. So.
All right, thanks, Martha. We can't wait to watch you cut this underhand coming up. Keep an eye on her with one event to go. Big round of applause. Martha King, with looking like she is in second place with a 17.85. But the winner in the women's single buck for the first time ever, 17.75, Hannah Quigley.
Well, Hannah Quigley obviously in a great position right now. Martha King right up there. We'll update you on the overall points when we come back. We'll take a quick break right now, but what a story for our defending champion, Erin Lavoie. A disappointing DQ, a misstep that she could not avoid if she wanted to pursue the repeat.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Your neighborhood Ace carries a full lineup of steel, gas, and battery outdoor power equipment and accessories. Shop STIHL at acehardware.com. Choose in-store pickup or free delivery to your door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
It's just 3 words, but they tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. why there are over 10,000 local steel dealers in communities all across this nation. And why we're putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. 3 words you can kick dirt on, drag through the mud, but you can't cover up. Not everyone can say them, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Welcome back to German Fest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A great night of competition. STIHL TIMBERSPORTS U.S. Women's Championship 2023. And let's take a look at our overall points right now. We've had a lot of drama in our third discipline of the day, and as a result, Martha King is on top. 32 points. Right behind her, 1 point behind her, Hannah Quigley, Emily Brown in third place. Kevin, it's I don't want to say never. I mean, you never know what can happen, but it looks like a 3-person race for the gold with 1 discipline remaining.
Yeah, it's really coming down. We're running out of points to grab at this point. The folks that are outside that top 3, 4 spots are really going to have to struggle. They're going to have to really have an exceptional underhand chop, and that's going to be tough because some of our best underhand cutters are in those top point slots already. So we've got to have a clean run in this underhand.
Final heat of the day is the final event of the day is the underhand chop. Take a look at the big screen for a better idea of what you'll see.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
Heat 1 of the underhand chop, Samantha Graves and Julie Miller.
About 4th place, Samantha Graves could make her case for a consideration for gold with a really fantastic cut here in the underhand chop. Going up against Julie Miller. Julie Miller's personal best, a 54.82 so far. Let's see if she can do that. In our last discipline, half of our competitors posted a personal best.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, Samantha Graves is having an exceptional day today here in Milwaukee, and that is 100% the result of the effort she puts in training almost every night of the week, traveling to competitions. It is a 365-day-a-year effort for Samantha Graves. She is into the backside of this block. I can't see the bottom of the front, but she has a wide open front face going to the back of this log. Clean, great slope, tons of cuttable wood there. Great cut going on here. She's through in the front, but she's got to draw a chip on the bottom. All eyes on stand number 1. There it is. Samantha Graves off with a new personal best in the underhand.
Both cuts are good.
Well, we're going to get a word with Samantha Graves here, talk about the difference between the standing block. Of course, Samantha broke the world record in the standing block. There she is again. You're done. You've only broke 1 world record today. But to talk about the difference between cutting a standing block and cutting an underhand, are you using the same axe, and is it really kind of the same timing?
No, I'm using a much different axe. It's a lot heavier. They're both amazing Rob Spry grinds, but yeah, it's a lot heavier, so I'm swinging a heavier axe. Yeah, sorry.
It's your first year, isn't it?
No, second.
Second year. First year in Milwaukee? having a good time, and tell us what you're going to take away from this, and what are you going to work on after this is over? I mean, you're just on fire.
Definitely going to work on some single buck, but yeah, the chopping's feeling really great.
Congratulations. We'll just let you sit back and watch. We'll see you soon for the awards ceremony. Hey, big round of applause from Victor, New York, Samantha Graves, her first time in Milwaukee, breaking the standing block record.
Well, here's another look at that chop from Samantha Graves. As I mentioned, she's adjacent to me. We are one town apart. My kids go to school in Victor, New York. Every time I see Samantha Graves, the first thing she asks me is not, "Hi, how are you?" It's, "Hey, you got any white pine?" Because she is consuming timber. She is training constantly, and that effort is paying off here today. Great run for Samantha Graves. All she can do now is sit back and watch to see how the rest of the times come in.
Samantha Graves, her second national championship, and really opening some eyes here. A personal best again after setting the world record, 35.95.
Heat number 2 of the underhand, Emily Brown and Lindsay Down.
Emily Brown definitely in this thing right here. Just a couple of points behind in overall points. Do herself a world of good right here with a personal best for herself. Going up against Lindsay Down, coming off a good single buck cut.
Tommy, a lot of great stuff coming out of New York right now. Samantha Graves having an exceptional day. Emily Brown
Athletes
having
ready.
a great day.
Stand to your timber.
No kidding.
3, 2, 1, go.
2-and-2 pattern is pretty standard here in the underhand with this size timber. That's what seems to be the course of action. Look at the chips falling out of the front side of that log for Emily Brown. Great hit placement. She is disassembling this log very cleanly. 2 into the bottom, 1 back to drive. Works her way to the top. She is well past halfway on the top side of that log. It doesn't seem like much happens. Oh, the left side of that, or her left, our right, did not go where she wanted them. Should have gone back and picked that back up, but still a really clean cut. Good face going here for Emily Brown. She's got to work that pattern, got to reach a little bit lower on that log. Find those last fibers at the bottom. Emily Brown does a great personal best run for Emily Brown to grab some more points towards that championship run.
Lindsay Down, one more, that's it.
Both cuts are good.
Emily, great win. You're sitting in second place overall. Monstrous reach. You know, how important is it to fully extend? And really, a lot of people look at this and they just think it's an arm chopping event. It really is a full body workout, right?
For sure. I try to drive with my legs, you know, to help bring the axe around. I still got to focus on that, but I was pretty happy with the cut. I had a flat hit here, but I tried to correct it coming.
So what is a flat hit? It's just hitting the base of the axe all at once? Was there a better delivery you can tell the crowd?
You just want to have a good angle or a good slope coming in, because if you hit it flat, your axe just rejects you. So.
Thanks, Emily. Congratulations. Great job today. Emily Brown, winner of the stock saw, sitting second in the underhand chop.
Yeah, the couple of hits I know that Emily wants back, and we could see it here. And again, this is me playing armchair lumberjack. It's easy in hindsight, but it'd be over by her left foot on those chip hits. You could see that the angle of the axe was just going straight into the grain, and she mentioned that you just get rejected. No real penetration with the axe. Bounces right back out as fast as you put it back in.
Going to be second place right now. The standings for Emily Brown, our winner in the heat there, a 43.37. Trailing Samantha Graves, but Emily Brown, sixth place last year. The 2022 STIHL Timbersports U.S. Women's Championships, looking to really improve on that standing at the end of today. We still have plenty of heats, 4 of them to be exact, in the underhand chop before this thing is decided.
So for the underhand, that's probably the event that I'm most comfortable with. So for me, it's reminding myself to engage all my muscles because I tend to get focused on speed and I want to use just my arms.
My underhand has come a long way. It's getting much stronger. I don't think I'm as strong as some of the other ladies, but I think I'm really working my way up through the pack. So I would hope to be somewhere in the middle of the pack would be a good spot for me.
Kelly Kerrigan, Caitlin Page coming up in this next heat of the underhand chop.
Underhand chop, Kelly Kerrigan and Kate Page.
Kate Page's personal best of 43.58. That would put her into 3rd place if she could equal that this time. Of course, she's hoping to do better. Set a new personal best. We've certainly seen a lot of that going on today. Gary Kelligan, the other side of the country in Connecticut.
Yeah, Kelly Kerrigan is coming off a not so exciting run. She was very disappointed with that single buck run. She had a great cut all the way through the bottom, and then things fell apart. She's going to want to grab some points here in this underhand. I don't think she gives herself enough credit as
Athletes ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
You can just see Kelly get that axe in the air, hands together, and just rips that axe head down into the block. She does not have the pace, but she is putting the hits in the right places and disassembling this block very cleanly. Caitlin Page over there on the right side has a little more pace, but you heard her say in the little pre-heat interview there that she's got to work on engaging all of her muscles and not just trying to throw that axe in. Kelly's getting a little bit slappy here in the backside of that log, especially there on that driver's side. That's going to step in and make it harder for her to finish. She's now getting a little bit steep in there. She's got to get that bottom wood cut. She's got to roll that nose around, find those fibers. There it is. Kelly Kerrigan off.
Both cuts are good.
Well, Kate, you just picked up the speed on the backside, but you did what you did. You had to. You had stayed in the front, got the work done. Was it just a tough block, or was the axe not working? Tell us about it.
Oh, my face was ugly. I had lines out.
Chopping.
Yeah. Well, no, the face of my block, I put in really ugly lines, and I didn't clear out as much wood as I should. But I knew that it was chopping really good, so I thought, well, I can outpower it on the back and turn, and it bit me.
Hey, congratulations for being out here once again. Get that air conditioner fixed before you drive back to Oregon for us, please. Hey, big round of applause one more time. Kate Page all the way from Oregon.
There's another look at those choppers as they go head-to-head on stage. That is Kelly Kerrigan on the near side in stand number 1. Caitlin Page on the far side, stand number 2. Look at how clean that face is. It'd be by Kelly's left foot. Each hit chasing the last one in looks great. You can see that wing of wood, though, at the bottom of the block. She just picked it up there, goes back at it again. There are some demons hiding in the bottom of that block. She knows it. She was chasing them. Took about 3 hits at the bottom of that log to find them in order to sever those last fibers.
Well, Kelly Kerrigan, well, not very happy about that, but still in all, she is in 2nd place and a new personal best for her as well. Kelly Kerrigan kind of, well, she got a little bit disappointed in the previous discipline as well. And Samantha Graves on top right now with a 35.95. We have 3 heats remaining in the underhand chop. 3 heats away from crowning our new champion.
In the underhand chop, the biggest thing for me is to be brave, to get the axe up really high, and to chop with all the power that I have. I know if I do that, I can perform really well in a race. The underhand chop requires you to use your full body. If you're using your arms, you won't be successful. If you're using your legs, you won't be successful. You have to really sit and plant your body into every hit, especially depending on the size you are. For me, I'm pretty small, so I have to give it everything I have. And I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself because that's my favorite event. But I think when I'm pulling my full body weight into each and every hit and focusing one by one, then I've competed really well.
Heat 4 of the women's underhand, Hannah Quigley and Nancy Zaleski.
Well, all eyes on Hannah Quigley. She came into this final discipline a single point behind our total points leader, Martha King. This is a very crucial underhand. Could mean big things for Hannah Quigley. Going up against Nancy Zaleski. And this is our 4th of 6 heats in the underhand, our final discipline of the day.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hannah Quigley right there with the go. You can hear her talk about being brave, getting that axe high in the air. She's doing just that, getting all of her core muscles engaged and delivering that axe to the block. Nancy Zaleski on stand number 2, drawing huge chips out of the front side of that log, just laying down giant slabs of wood as she puts in really accurate pairs of hits. Here's Quigley around to the back. What a clean, I think I jinxed her. I was about to say what a clean cut she had going until that one hit stepped in that really pinches that bottom wood. She's going back, kind of picking it back up. It is going to be a new personal best for her, but I know she'd want to have the bottom right corner of the backside of that log back. Nancy Zaleski, there's a glancing blow at the top of that log. She drives great on her right-hand side, picks up a ton of slope over there.
Second range.
Well, all eyes were on Hannah Quigley for that cut. She was right at the top of the points heap. Remember, she was our bronze medalist last year, looking to advance. Did herself a whole lot of good in that underhand.
Both cuts are good.
There's a good,
there's a good view of Hannah Quigley's underhand chop. Hannah, yeah, you have to do interviews when you win. What a cut. Does this STIHL Timbersports stage just bring out more in Hannah Quigley?
You know what? Today, I was ready to go. I was so psyched again. Having my family here on top of all the accomplishments from last weekend and competing with women who are pushing me to be on, it's just unbelievable. So whatever happens today, I can say I gave it my all.
Speaking of ready to go, why don't you tell the crowd where you're ready to go in a few weeks? Going on a trip, right?
Yeah, so this year I'm headed to Adelaide, Australia to compete in a women's championship there. It was super cool this last weekend. There was a few Australian competitors that kind of were telling me all about it. Nancy's been there, so we're kind of partnering up and traveling over. So I'm really excited that this has just taken me to amazing places, meet amazing people. I'm really fortunate.
We got the awards ceremony coming up, so don't leave just yet. Stick around. Big round of applause from Honeoye Falls, New York, Hannah Quigley.
Here's a great look at the backside of Hannah Quigley's chop. There's where it fell apart a little bit over on the drive side, her right-hand side. You can see how clean the chip side is. Each of those hits chasing each other in perfectly, but she lost her way a little bit. That forces her to step in towards the middle, runs the risk of doglegging, and putting herself in a tough situation, she manages to power through, break through the bottom of that block.
Well, what a July it has been for Hannah Quigley. Won the Lumberjack World Championship standing block just a few days ago down the road in Hayward, Wisconsin. We talked about that, and look at this. She is on top now, a new personal best, 35.012 heats remaining in the underhand chop. But one of those heats, the final one, is Martha King's in that one, and she starts with a 1-point advantage going in.
So the underhand here in the United States, I think we probably have some of the best underhand cutters in the world. Erin Lavoie and Martha King are tough to beat in that event. But that's it has been one of my most competitive events. It has been one of my most favorite events. And I dealt with some injuries over the past couple years that I think I'm on the other side of, and I feel really confident in the underhand right now, feeling really powerful in that event.
I gotta go.
Alexander Miller.
Okay, go intros, Dave. Heat number 5 of the underhand chop, Alex Miller and Kate Witkowski.
Alexander Miller, Kate Witkowski, both of them cut in the 30s, 35 and 36 respectively in change for each one of these two competitors right now. Not going to be challenging for the gold this time around. Be great to end it on an up note with a great effort in the underhand chop.
Well, either one of these competitors can play the role of spoiler, too.
Oh, absolutely.
You mentioned there was a 1-point difference between first and second place overall coming into this underhand. One of them
Athletes
can insert
ready.
themselves
Stand
in this
to
underhand.
your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, beautiful opening hit from Miller there on stand number 1. If she can keep that going, stepped a little bit to the outside, though, unfortunately, on that second round. She's got it cleaned up now, though. She's putting them where they need to go. Very good at the top. Reaches way down to the bottom and just hogs through the bottom of that log. Witkowski turning at the same time. We've got a great race going between two great choppers. Miller's got a very wide open face. Lots of cuttable wood. She's got to span that axe, though. Get up a little higher on the top. There she does. There's Witkowski, though, driving through the bottom. Kate Witkowski off, showing a time around 37.5 seconds. Miller's got to get that, there it is. All eyes, for at least my eyes, were over on Miller on stand number 1. It seemed like she had a better front face going, but Witkowski just did a great job, had us all tricked
Nice
here
job.
in the booth.
Both cuts are good.
Great cut, Kate. I'm running out of things to ask you. You're fit, you've been training, spent all this last week training, not only with Erin Lavoie, but you're training with a lot of the guys that are here for the men's division coming up in the next couple days. How important is that to actually just, like I've said to you, I'm always a little chicken training with all these other pros around, but you just got right in there, you said you just have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I live in northern Wisconsin. Most of the year I'm training alone and sending video off to people and asking for advice. So this past week, Hayward was buzzing with lots of lumberjacks and got to take advantage of that. They all came out to the training barn and everybody put in their 2 cents, and you kind of take everything in and use what works for you. Sometimes you can run the risk this close to a competition of like trying to change too much. And I just went out there for underhand today and did what I know I could do.
Great job today. We'll see you soon in the awards ceremony. Stick around. Great job. Kate Page, hang on. No, you can. Kate Witkowski.
I'm just going to shout out the Witkowski clan that's here. My brother's here from California with his kids. Thank you.
There you go, Kate Witkowski. I only called you Kate Page twice today.
Well, here's another look at the second half of that block from Kate Witkowski, and it is clean. Look at the face over by her right foot. Each hit chasing the next one in beautifully. She's spanning the axe well, goes way high on that top one, has to go back and find those last few fibers. She did a great job setting up the front side for success on the back.
Kate Witkowski's time of 37.18, good enough for third place. That is critical for Hannah Quigley. Hannah Quigley still occupying that top spot there. Samantha Graves in second place. So Hannah Quigley can only sit and wait as we have one more heat to go. Martha King, who had the 1-point advantage leading into the underhand chop, will be up next.
The underhand is certainly one of my favorite events. I love the chopping events. I love how powerful I feel. I love the strength and the poise and the timing that's required to execute a good chop. The important thing for me is to select the right tool for the job. So there'll be a little bit of testing going into it, and I need to relax again and do what I know how to do. It's chopping wood. I do it all the time in the backyard. One block to another, there might be a few differences, but ultimately I've got an axe, I've got the block under my feet, and I've got my pattern, I've got my power. Got to put it to it.
With the underhand, I'm just going to cut it properly. Again, all of these events, I used to just want to go as fast as I could, faster than everybody else, and now I just want to do it properly. And if I do that, I should be okay.
Well, 2 gold medals each for these two, Martha King and Erin Lavoie. Erin Lavoie, a misstep in the single buck has cost her her shot at a repeat this year. Martha King, she's got the lead going in, and if she can make her personal best, well, she can take it again for a 3rd gold medal.
Final heat of the day. Final event of the day in the underhand chop, Martha King and Erin Lavoie.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
2 of the best underhand cutters in the nation, if not the world, on stage here in Milwaukee. One with a 1-point lead in overall points coming in, and unfortunately Erin Lavoie is going to be out of it this year. King around the back, but not doing so well. The axe is not liking that block. She got the heel hung under a little bit of a shelf. Not a great cut for King. She has to really turn it on now. She, again, only had a 1-point advantage coming in here over Hannah Quigley. A 32-2-5 for Martha King. If that time holds, that should put her ahead of Hannah Quigley.
Nice job. Both cuts are good.
Well, Martha King may have gotten the job done. What we got to do is we got to cross all the T's, dot all the I's, double check everything. We'll come back with the final results momentarily.
I want to be competing with joy, and I just feel so powerful and just on fire when I'm up here. So gave it my all today.
What's your advice? As you know, this is being live streamed around the world. You know the other women timber sports athletes, they're watching right now. What's the message you'd like to give them?
Oh my goodness, there's so much that I could say. Can I get back to you on that? No, put in the work, believe in yourselves, anything is possible. But don't forget about the things that are most important, the relationships. I wouldn't be where I am today without having solid support from my family, from my friends, and you got to take good care of that first.
Thanks, Martha. Great day. Great day. You're getting me choked up over here. Good job. Stick around. Martha King, Chatsford, Pennsylvania.
Ace carries a full lineup of STIHL gas and battery outdoor power equipment and accessories. Shop STIHL at acehardware.com. Choose in-store pickup or free delivery to your door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Let's roll. Let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local STIHL dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real STIHL. Find yours.
All right, here we go with our awards ceremony. We're going to have a little help here with our representatives from STIHL, the branch manager from Midwest STIHL. Big round of applause for Joe Hickey. And the branch manager from STIHL Northwest, Casey Kralovitz. They'll be coming out in just a minute to help with the bronze, gold, silver medals around the women's neck, and we can get the awards ceremony going, especially also that John Deere Gator. Who will be taking home the John Deere Gator? All right, third place, the bronze medal, taking home a Duluth prize package. Big round of applause from Pulaski, New York, Emily Brown. Second place, she only entered Timber Sports 2 years ago. She was 7th overall. Last year, 3rd place overall. This year, taking home an Ace Hardware prize package, taking second, the silver medal from Honeoye Falls, New York, Hannah Quigley. And winning her 3rd national title, taking home the John Deere Gator from Chadsford, Pennsylvania, Martha King. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause. Congratulate all top 12 of our women athletes at STIHL Timbersports, the 6th season now. One more big round of applause for all of our athletes. All right, ladies, this is what you've been waiting for. Cheers or prost, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you.
Well, what a moment. Martha King, the champion in 2018, 2021, and this is her 3rd gold medal. Kevin, I'm sure Martha, nor anyone in this field, would want to defeat our defending champion in the way that it happened, the mishap for Erin Lavoie. But still, Martha King, well, hats off. What a great effort. All of our competitors. We must have had 25 personal bests set during this competition.
Yeah, I feel like that was the catchphrase of the day. It was personal best, personal best, personal best in events like the standing block, the single block. I love to see it. Again, not a huge surprise to see Martha King atop of the throne once again, an exceptional all-around cutter. And of course, we've got to recognize Hannah Quigley moving from the bronze medal to the silver medal. Just on her way to that gold. And I got to get a huge shout out to Emily Brown. What an exceptional day she, Samantha Graves, so many of the athletes had here today as they all advanced so far in this sport.
An absolute fantastic top 3, top 4, as you mentioned right there with Samantha Graves at the world record there. But there she is, Martha King, trying to find some inner quiet to sort of get her game right, and she apparently has found it this time. She was able to play her game and show us how it should be played.